Whether it's AP, Donovan, I'm guessing that making the playoffs was on your to-do list for this first season. What does it mean, though, to get this team to the playoffs for the first time in 5 years?
You want to appreciate every, step along the way. It's definitely a blessing. I don't want to downplay the moment, but in the same token, this is, and I told the guys in there, this is what you just come to expect. Like this, you made your first one, appreciate it, enjoy it, celebrate it for the city, for the organization, for your individual guys who have made it. But at the same token, 3 seeds in play. That's the goal, that's the focus, and we should come to a point now where that's what's expected of us. Making the playoffs and continuously being here and continuously pushing forward.
Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. Hey, Donovan. You've been in the playoffs every year since you've been in the NBA. Why is your game synonymous with winning?
I think for me, I learned at a very early time in my career, and I'm very appreciative of everybody in that organization that helped me along that way, of understanding how to make winning plays, how to impact winning, I genuinely say this all the time. My first year in the league, I didn't expect to be here. I didn't expect to be this player in this position. I always have belief in myself, but, to be here, to be who I was so fast was not on my little to-do list when I first got into the league. So I had to learn a lot, and I had to learn quickly. And I was given the reins to an organization that believed in me, a coach that believed in me, and my teammates. So from there, different things happened. My rookie year, things went, really well for me. I got success a lot earlier than my second year in the playoffs. It's actually funny. I couldn't fall asleep today, so I was going back on my Instagram, and there was a video I saw of myself after my second playoff series. I think it went 4 of 22 in the final game, and I saw myself sitting there at the podium talking about how, I was going to be better, whatever. And, it's kind of crazy how we clinched tonight at that whole thing, but just understanding that I wouldn't be here without different people and different players impacting trusting me, but also helping me develop to impact winning and understanding what winning basketball is from a young age, and just trying to take that here with this group and show the guys, and obviously it helps when you have the guy who was there when it all started, and Ricky and Raul. I think it really helps.
JB talked about it, and you said it, and Jarrett all said it. Like, you guys have bigger goals in mind, right? And this is just the beginning for you. That's how you feel.
Yeah.
What is it like to feel like you have a real shot at this thing?
I think the mindset, honestly, is just all right, it's just a step, one step to feel like, we're not satisfied. I've been in a locker room in Utah where we didn't expect, we weren't even supposed to be in the playoffs. We were 17 and 29 at one point, turned the season around. That was not the feeling we had here. And that's nothing to say against Utah. I think we had a feeling which is all right, cool. We made the playoffs. And to have the young guys who haven't been to have that mindset, that's impressive. Understanding that we have a bigger goal, at stake, not just making the playoffs, not just winning a first round, second round, third round, making it all the way. And it's gonna be tough. There's gonna be guys, teams that have a lot of experience and have been there, but I think we're up for that challenge. We have that hunger. That's all that's talked about is our experience, but we have that hunger, and you see it with this group, and on a night-to-night basis, continuing to prepare and continue to play, all the way until June.
Thank you.
Ashley Bastock, Cleveland.com. Donovan, and JB Jarrett kind of talked about the way when exciting plays happen on this team, guys want to feed off of that and make the next play. I guess how important is that when you do get to the postseason, and I guess how special is that for a team to kind of have that kind of chemistry?
Yeah, when you want to make the play for each other, seeing guys make that conscious effort, continuously, whether it was today, just those possessions where we're fighting on the board, getting those open threes, and granted we missed them, but there's so many different things that we've done, effort from all around, from whether it's J.A., Ev, Jetty, Vert, myself, DG, Isaac, Mar, I could go down the list, Ricky, just continue to play for each other. That's unselfish basketball, and that's what we're going to need, come the postseason. I don't think there's one guy on this team that's worried about just themselves, and I think that's what makes this group special. I don't think that's the case in every organization, and you have that from top to bottom, and I think that's special.
Kelsey Russo, The Athletic, you kind of touched on it, and so did the other guys, but this expectation that you guys wanted to be here and saw yourself there, at what point, though, this season did you see that, be the reality of, okay, we can get to this point?
For me, or for like the group? For me, I would say when I got traded, that was the expectation. Like, when the article came out, I was jumping around, and I found out who we were keeping, yada, yada, all that. Like, all right, cool. Like, the playoffs wasn't even the question. It was like, how far, can we go? What can we do? I think the group felt the same way from the jump. I think, I want to say after the West Coast trip, we obviously didn't do well. The first West Coast trip when we lost to the Clippers, the Warriors, the Kings, and then came back and I think we lost to Minnesota. Like after that, you kind of have a realization of like you can not only compete but beat these teams, and I think that was one of those things where it's like, all right, like it's just like a test, and then you saw the improvement from that trip, and there was different things. We've had our ups and downs since then, but I saw a lot of improvement from a lot of guys, and I think us as a group we really believe that. I think that from the jump we believe we're a really good team, and it's one thing to say it, but then to go out there and your actions, and I think our actions are starting to show that we believe, and not just to, like I said, not just to make the playoffs and just maybe in the first round to continue to make a push.
And going off of that and sort of talking bigger picture, but like bigger picture of where this organization wants to go long term, at what point too did you kind of see that vision kind of come to, you can see like that coming to fruition?
I mean, when they traded for me, you don't make a trade, with that many people and picks in it if you're not ready, for that moment right now. I think that's something that showed me and also showed everybody, like, all right, like, it's time. And, does it put expectation on it? Sure. But, I've been around expectation for a pretty long time, and I think that's what makes it fun, going out there and got to do your job, and for me, just continuing to be the same player that I've always been and continue to grow and help lead this group. But, when the organization makes a trade like that, they expect, not only just to be here, but continue to win. And, that's our expectation as a group. And, I think that's great when you have the support to continue to push and win.
Daryl Ryder, 92.3 The Fan. Donovan, you came into a situation where JB had established the culture here. Not a lot of coaches that are tasked with developing a young basketball team really get an opportunity to see a vision through. He is getting that opportunity here. I guess from your perspective, what is it about JB and the culture that you have seen here that has just not only impacted you, but just been so impactful on these young players?
You think there's a belief, like, there's a belief in him. I think that's the one thing you see. To go from, what was it, a 20-win season or whatever it was, to be here, and you said, what, 4 years? 3 years? 4 years? Like, that's huge. Or 3 years, because last year, obviously, it was 40 wins. That says a lot about him. That says a lot about the development of the players. It says a lot about the trust the players have. It says a lot about the organization, believing in JB. And, we talk a lot about coaches of the year. You hear about Coach Brown and Sack. Hear about all these different teams, but, I don't hear his name enough. I think, he deserves that recognition, and not just the recognition of being top 3, top 2, but he deserves to be at the top. I don't know if everybody expected us to be in this position, but I did. I think we did, but I think from the outside in, like, I think that's something that, last year they caught everybody by surprise in certain ways and then continued to play. And now I think this year it's like, no, we're here. And that's a big testament to him and the group. And I just came in and just tried to fit in, and it helped when you have a coach that allows you to kind of be you and, explains what he sees, explains in ways that I can fit. And it makes it easy on myself. It made it easy for me to come in and do what I do. And, you see the growth between Darius, Evan, Isaac, I speak about those three more. Like Mar's taking a huge step as well. It's a testament to not just the organization, but to JB himself, and he deserves recognition to be Coach of the Year. Look at what he's done in 4 years. It's truly impressive.
You guys have recently started to really play well in fourth quarters. Tonight, same thing. Game got real tight, and I think you guys only gave up 11 points in the final quarter there. What have you seen collectively, unit, that where you guys are closing these games out now?
I think it's just a mindset. I think obviously our defense, is the key of it. We're finding different things offensively. Different guys contributing. I think Evan and Karis LeVert. I think those two guys in particular have taken a huge step in their own right, in their own way. I think Karis is finding himself. This is the Karis LeVert that we all know. I think during the year he's trying to figure things out and where he fits in and whatnot. You look at Evan Mobley and he's phenomenal. And then on top of that, you have Jared Allen getting 24 and 14. It's hard. It's hard to compete with that in the nights where, Darius and I, we played solid. You know what I mean? And to still have a great fourth quarter, where that's huge because all the attention, and it is what it is. It'll be on the guards, but there's a lot of talent on this team outside of myself and Darius, and you're seeing it in our fourth quarters. It's not just him and me. It's Ev, it's J.A., it's Jetty, it's Karis, it's Mar, against Boston. There's so many different things, and that's what, will help us, in the postseason.
All right, let's go, Ralph.